This dish has been called fire meat for 2,000 years. But here's the thing nobody tells you. For 6 of those centuries, the people who invented it were forbidden from eating it. Not by poverty, not by war, by religion. Fire and meat, banned from both. And it started somewhere even stranger. Long before restaurants, before grills, a nomadic rider on Korea's frontier roasted meat on his sword over open fire. So how did that survival meal become one of the most beloved foods on earth? Here is what history tends to gloss over. That rider cooking meat on his sword was not making bulgogi. Not yet. The dish began as something much rougher. Chunks of meat on a stick, cooked over open flame by nomadic tribes on the Korean peninsula 2,000 years ago. It was called Maekjeok, named after the Mek tribe who created it. But then Buddhism spread across the peninsula and meat was outlawed completely. The ancient dish nearly vanished. For 6 centuries it survived only as a memory. Nearly. The Mongols changed everything. When they invaded Korea in the 13th century, they brought their meat-eating culture with them. And a centuries-long decline of beef suddenly reversed. Koreans could eat meat openly again. But now the dish had to be rebuilt. Chunks on a skewer became thin slices soaked in marinade. The cooking became more refined, more deliberate. And by the time the Joseon dynasty rose to power, that marinated beef had climbed all the way to the royal table. They called it Neobiani, meaning thinly spread, reserved for kings. A commoner eating it would have been almost unthinkable. But here is where the story takes another turn. Fast forward to the early 20th century. Japan occupied Korea. Beef became scarce as Korean cattle were shipped out of the country. Yet at almost exactly the same moment, something fascinating happened. The word bulgogi appears in Korean writing for the very first time. In the 1920s, a popular song even mentions it in 1938. The dish finally had a name. But almost as soon as it gained one, it nearly disappeared again. Then came the Korean War. And here's the detail almost nobody talks about. American military meat slicing machines changed Korean food forever. Industrial slices introduced during and after the war allowed beef to be cut thinner and faster than ever before. Suddenly, bulgogi became easier to prepare, easier to share, and more accessible to ordinary families. Not just royalty, not just special occasions, everyone. It spread rapidly across the country and eventually around the world. But now, let's return to the mystery from the beginning. The bulgogi you eat today carries a name that did not originate in South Korea. The word comes from the Pyongyang dialect of what is now North Korea. When refugees fled south during the turmoil of the 20th century, they carried that name with them. To Seoul, to new homes, to new lives. The dish crossed a border along with the people who refused to leave it behind. And that brings us back to the rider on the frontier. He wasn't creating a national dish. He wasn't preserving culture. He wasn't making history. He was simply making dinner. Yet, his fire-cooked meal survived dynasties, invasions, religious change, occupation, war, and the division of an entire nation. Sometimes the most important recipes are the ones nobody thinks to write down. Follow the history, not just the recipe. More dishes are waiting.